Hello everyone, Jorge Huertas once again with all of you. Today I'm going to show you what is and how to create a crisis plan. This video is also available in Spanish. Well, when we're talking about a crisis plan, we're talking about a warning tool. It got the following characteristics: describes how the company will react to a crisis and identifies who will do what and which functions they will have. The objective of this plan is to minimize the negative effects and restore business operation as soon as possible. Seeks to preserve the trust of the target and minimize the negative impact that a crisis can cause on the reputation of the organization. Uh, Following facing a disruptive emergency situation, this must be complete before the opportunity to implement arise, because in this way, a business prepared to combat and rectify any unexpected event. Okay, so when we talk about a crisis plan, there is something that is very important, and is that some companies wait so the crisis happen to develop a plan. This video is that you prepare. I mean, you don't have to have a crisis to develop that. So it's extremely important. Before we start, if you like our content, if you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. Turn on the bell, give us a like, subscribe, and share our content is really helpful to our project. Okay, so when we talk about a crisis plan, this is a never-ending task because you can make one, but it has to be updating. So the first thing is that no one believes that something will happen until it happens. And that's something very important because people say like, why I will spend time preparing for a crisis that might never happen? Yes, that could be possible. However, it's extremely important that you understand that you have to be aware of everything of your surrounding. For example, the majority of companies didn't have any crisis plan for a pandemic, and we already know what happened. The crisis plan can also be for people, not just for companies. What will we do if something happened that we are not expecting? We do not have to wait to be in a crisis to make a plan. And that is something very important as well, because a lot of times people say like, yeah, that never gonna happen. But when it happened, the people are not prepared to that. So the first step is visualize. Visualize risk, visualize contents, visualize possible situations that could happen inside your company or even in your life that could be analyzed, and could you develop a plan about that. The second step is to planify. You need to make a step-by-step, very, very detailed, very specific. When you visualize that risk, you have to be aware of how can you manage that. Of course, you have to design multiple options, not just one, because a problem doesn't have just one answer. It could have many different possible answers. So that is something very important as well. You need to implement, I mean, you have to be ready to execute your plan. That is extremely important because sometimes people, yes, they write a plan, but they are not prepared to execute it. So you have to be aware of that, and you need to know what do you need to implement the plan and execute it. Of course, in this process, you have to adjust. You have to evaluate possible scenarios, make different kind of simulations to analyze if you can fix or you can change something that's going on, because this process is iterative. You have to try and adjust, try and adjust as much as you can, so you have a more possible option to do that. Of course, you have to update constantly and you have to improve, because even though that you can have your plan step by step, what to do, what you can socialize it with the people, you have to be aware that maybe you have a good plan for 20 years before now, but that plan doesn't work anymore. So you have to be aware of that. Of course, it's extremely important that the crisis management allow us to make continuous evolution, and is a mistake to believe that because something is not happened, it will never happen. You have to be, it is not to be pessimistic, but you have to be aware that anything could happen. This is an iterative process that evolves with technology and possible risks that can happen right now. That's something we cannot prepare for, something that don't know exist. Being in the comfort zone is a great risk because you can have a situation and you thought that you will never happen because say like, no, I'm playing safe. It's never going to happen to me. That's I do not recommend that you have that mentality, because that when crises happen and you have no idea what to do or how to handle it. So that's very important as well. Thank you so much. I hope this video was a big help in your education. Please subscribe to our channel, Design Thinking 24/7. Follow us on social media. Remember that every Monday we have a new video in Spanish. Every Thursday we have a new video in English. Our Udemy courses are already available in the description of this video. You can find the link. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.